Now, students, I am going to convey you about the composition of the Constituent Assembly. As a consequence of the partition under the plan of 3 June 1947, those members who are elected from territories which fell under Pakistan cease to be members of the Constituent Assembly. The total number of the members of the Constituent Assembly was 389, but it was reduced after the partition to 299. The Constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949. 284 members were actually present on 24 January 1950 and appended their signature to the Constitution as finally passed. The Constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. The Constitution was thus framed against the backdrop of the severe violence that the partition unleashed on the subcontinent, but it is a tribute to the fortitude of the framers that they were not only able to draft a constitution under immense pressure, but also learned the right lessons from the unimaginable violence that accompanied the partition. The Constitution was committed to new conception of citizenship, where not only would minorities be secure, but religious identity would have no bearing on citizenship rights. But this account of the composition of the Constituent Assembly that drafted the Constitution touches upon only the surface of how our Constitution was made. Although the members of the Assembly were not elected by the universal suffrage, there was a serious attempt to make the Assembly a representative body. Members of all religions were given representation under the scheme. The Assembly had 28 members from the scheduled caste. In terms of political parties, the Congress dominated the Assembly, occupying as many as 82% of the seats in the Assembly. After the partition, the Congress itself was such a diverse party that it managed to accommodate almost all sets of opinion within it. In my next topic, I will provide you information about the principle of deliberation.